I'll remove some. Okay, test. I hope you can hear me. Hope you can hear me this time. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so that's what happens when you change your setup and you have new mics and all that. So I am looking at the comments right now, and so please tell me if you can hear me, because if you can't, then I'm not going to talk for 5 minutes when nobody can hear me. So I'll wait for comments, and hopefully you can hear me. So I'm looking on my iPad here. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. Okay, like I said, that's what happens when you change the mics and you try to be fancy, right? You have all this great equipment and everything, and then it doesn't work. So, or actually, it works. You just forget to do the settings. Okay, so everything I said was so awesome. You couldn't hear it, but hopefully you'll get to hear it this time. So, okay, so I'll be brief, and I'll do a more updated one here a little bit later. So I thought I'd start with the radar here in motion, and as you can see, these cluster of thunderstorms that are headed our way, are not severe, first of all, so that's good. They may have a little small hail in it, just it could. There's no doubt about that. And actually, what I'm going to do here, if I could, I'm going to see if I can. Okay. I'm trying to do something here where I can actually see your comments as they kind of go. Okay, there we go. I can just cheat over here. Okay. So, like I said, so this is not severe, but I am looking. I'm going to blow this up here real quick, and I'm going to stop this frame because there we go. Okay, so yeah, so you are starting to see some purple there with this this thunderstorm core right here, right there. Now, when you see purple there, it doesn't necessarily mean it's hail, and it also means that it could be hail that's not reaching the ground. So I think that's something that. Just that's what these thunderstorms are doing. They're kind of strengthening as the day goes on. So that's what we're going to have to expect within the next 15 to 30 minutes. Like I said, don't be shocked if you see a little hail, but there's nothing big at this point, and there's certainly nothing severe, and I'm not anticipating that would be the case. But then again, this is Texas, and the weather changes mighty fast. Okay, so let's take a little bit bigger picture here about what's going to go on the rest of the day. And I had trouble with this earlier, so let's... there we go. This new setup just doesn't want to work sometimes. Okay, so again, this is a satellite picture, and you can kind of see, you can see these thunderstorms popping up over top of the low clouds. Things are definitely getting going here, so that's for sure. I think you'll see most of that scatter type activity the rest of the day. Now, as far as what's going to happen later on, this is the severe thunderstorm outlook that the Storm Prediction Center puts out. And as you can see, we are right in the middle of the slight risk area, and we'll pop the city layer on there. So you can see Dallas is the southern third of it. But like I said, there's really two distinct episodes that we're going to look at this afternoon. So number one is, quite frankly, the one that's fixing to hit us, and I don't mean to say it like that, but like I said, you have these first round of thunderstorms that's going to move north with the warm front, and then you're going to see some thunderstorms overnight. There's really two distinct severe threats with each one. So let's talk about the first one this afternoon. So this afternoon is more of a hail type threat. It's yes, Ashley, you need to tell your kids to come home. So you need to, this afternoon is more of the hail threat. So you see a 15% chance that the Storm Prediction Center is putting on there. So that's what, with these storms that are kind of ramping up. I think most of the hail will be in northeast Texas, south central, southeastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas. But again, it could happen here. They're starting to ramp up a little bit. Now, if you go to the wind probability, that's 15% too as well. And that's more for overnight. So when this Pacific cold front comes through after midnight, I think you're going to see a line of storms form along that. And the thing that's kind of saving us from everything is that we do have a capping inversion over us, and that's going to save us from the really bad stuff, I think. But it's one of those things that storms can form above the cap, and I think that's what's going to happen with this cold front later today. And that's what's happening right now. As a matter of fact, these thunderstorms are forming above the cap. So you'll see maybe more of a wind threat overnight, and that's the kind of the sucky part, because it's going to be overnight. Everybody's going to be asleep, and you might get woken up, and you can't see anything, and so that's kind of a bummer from that standpoint. But I think that's just the timing of it, which actually might be good, because overnight it's not going to be as, the atmosphere won't be as unstable. And then of course the tornado threat, which again, really more of an overnight thing, and I think you would only see that with a storm that formed out ahead of the front, or just basically what we call a squall line type tornado out in front. I think that's the only time you'd see that, but 2%, so not too bad. All right, so let's go back and look at the radar here before we sign off here. If I could get this new setup to work. All right. Okay, so you still see some purple returns there, but again, nothing too much to worry about. So let's kind of zoom in. Okay, so I know it's a little hard to see on the screen, but this is lovely Saxy right here. And then we'll put this in motion here and see. Like I said, so if it's, what is it now on my watch, 2:29. So, and this is how much I love y'all, because I'm not watching football to do this. So I'm going to go back to watch football here in a minute. So you're going to see this protest here probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15 tops. Again, you should expect some lightning. You should expect some thunder, some maybe small hail. Hopefully not, but you should expect that. And then, so it's just, like I said, it's not severe, and hopefully it'll stay that way, but it's just something to keep an eye on. That's why I wanted to come on real quick and talk to you about that. And like I said, the last couple of days you might have heard on from the TV weather guys that there's a chance for severe weather, and there definitely is, that's for sure. Luckily, it's not springtime, and we don't have this big setup to where it's crazy, but there's still possibilities. So we just want to keep an eye out for that. And so with that, before we sign off, I'm gonna expand this out just a little bit here and kind of give you all a better idea what we got. So like I said, so it's definitely headed our way, that's for sure. But like I said, moving pretty quick. But again, don't be shocked if you see some pea-sized hail. There's just nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with the hail, of course. All right, so I am going to try to. Let's see. All right, so I see everybody joining. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any comments here. I probably did. Thank you for all the compliments. Yes, that's awesome. All right, Elizabeth, you're so fancy. Boy, that depends on interpretation, right? Okay, so yeah, David, I love it. Are you saying thunder snow? I love you, David. I think you know the answer. Okay, and thank you, Ashley, for your comment. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not missing it. Okay, so I don't see any questions. So just for future reference, what I'm going to try to do with more of these type updates during severe weather episodes or weather episodes in general, I want it to be more interactive, and it's tough in a way because of the way the way we do Facebook Live, because it's just it's through a chat, and so it's a little delayed, as you can imagine. It's maybe 10-15 second delay until I see it, so that's why it's kind of hard. But that's why I wanted to do more of that, because I know you might have questions. Hello, Barbara. Are we getting hail, or is that a possibility? The $1 million question, right? No, it's there's definitely a possibility, Barbara. It's I think if you saw some, it would be of the smaller variety. Although I guess any hail is the bad variety, but there's a possibility. But I just don't see it. I'm looking at my hail contours on my other radar, and I don't see a whole lot. So right now, anyway, it's not looking too bad as far as hail goes. But there's definitely a chance. Elizabeth, to wrap up, yeah, Elizabeth, to wrap up, we'll be having a chance of thunderstorms with hail about 3-ish, right? Yeah, it might even be before 3-ish. But like I said, the good news is you can see from this radar loop that they are moving fairly quickly, but as you can see, they're kind of extensive as far as how big they are. So like I said, so once it starts, I think it'll probably last 15-20 minutes, maybe something like that. If there's something crazy that goes on to where we have hail that starts to ramp up, I'll definitely hop back on after I protect all my stuff. But anyway, so that's about it for now. Again, I always appreciate y'all watching. I want to keep everybody up to date on what's going on. I will say this. So this is not a springtime event. This is not something to be overly concerned about, but again, it's just something that, hey, if you want to be extra cautious and you have something that you want to protect from possible hail, smaller variety, but still, then you might do it in the next 5 minutes. I'm just saying, it wouldn't hurt, right? It's kind of like washing the car when you want it to rain. So, so if you go do all that stuff, it won't hail. So you're helping everybody if you do that. Okay, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I'm going to sign off for now. And like I said, I'll probably be back a little bit later to talk about the overnight hours, and that'll be a little more extensive, hopefully. And with that, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. Stay classy, everybody.